I've got a question for you today. What do you think about, what does your heart and your brain respond if I ask you, or I just say to you, believers in persecution, or the church in persecution, or one of the popular phrases is the persecuted church? See, I have a little bit of a problem with that because the emphasis seems to be on the amount or the quality of their persecution rather than the quality of their faith. And that's what I think I would love to talk with you today, is how do we identify with the suffering church, with believers in persecution? If I say persecution, if I say suffering, if I say believers in persecution, what do you think? Oftentimes we feel sorrowful. Oftentimes we feel pity. And we have been told so many times as we've sit at the feet of believers in persecution, we've talked to over 700 of them in about 72 countries. And they will say to us, don't feel sorry for us. Don't have pity for us in our persecution, for never have we felt so close to Jesus as when our faith is costing us something. Oh, the deep places of faith they have taken us. You see, we do identify with our brothers and sisters in chains when we pray with them. But could that not be the beginning of our connection? You see, they're persecuted for two reasons. One, they've given their lives to Christ. And secondly, they determined not to keep Jesus to themselves. They share him with family, with friends, with neighbors. They share him at work and schools. They're just prolific in how they share the life and the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It is conceivable. You can argue that you could come to Christ in a place like North Korea, a place like Saudi Arabia. And if you don't share Christ with anyone, with parents or friends or neighbors, you could grow to an old age, die in your sleep without any persecution, simply by keeping your faith to yourself. So how to identify with our brothers and sisters in chains? When I give my life to Jesus and I share Christ with my family, my friends, my colleagues at work, maybe at the school, the park, the sports event, when I share Christ, I am identifying with my brothers and sisters who are wrapped in chains for their faith. But perhaps the hardest thing they've ever taught me is this, is that when I keep Jesus to myself and I don't share with my family, I don't get to the resurrection of Christ with friends and neighbors, internationals, and at work and school. When I keep Jesus to myself, not only am I failing to identify with my brothers and sisters in chains, I am identifying with those who chained them. Please listen carefully. To keep Jesus to yourself and not be a witness to the life and the death and resurrection of Jesus aligns you with the persecutor rather than the persecuted. I don't know how you'll digest this, but today you have a choice. Do I identify with my brothers and sisters in chains, or do I identify with those who chain them? It's clear. It's tough. It's reality. But choose the resurrection and the one who brings it. Don't choose today the crucifixion and the ones who bring that. God bless you. Hopefully we get to talk again soon.